Hi friends, this is Selvijay here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today the topic I am going to discuss about IRB and how to configure IRB. So in the previous video I have shown how to configure the integrated routing and bridging. So in this video additionally I am going to configure the access port and I am going to show you exactly how the inter-VLAN routing happens between these two PCs. Okay, so that's a scenario. So the first scenario I'm going to create the VLAN, and the second I'm going to map that VLAN to this corresponding L3 interface. So L3 is nothing but an IRB interface. We call it as an layer 3 interface, since which is used to route between two different VLAN without the help of router, right? So this switch performs the inter VLAN routing. So in this scenario, this IRB serves as a gateway for both this PC1 and PC2. So that is the actual scenario for this IRB, which performs the inter-VLAN routing. So now let us go one by one. In the first scenario, I'm going to configure the VLAN for both this VLAN 10 and 20. And the second one, I'm going to map the VLAN to the L3 interface. That is an IRB interface. And third, I'm going to configure this IP address for this corresponding IRB.10 and IRB.20. So these both are the logical units, and I'm going to map this corresponding IP address to this logical unit .10 and .20. Okay, so once that is done, and the fourth step, I am going to configure this XC 0 by 0 by 3 and 4 as an access port. Okay, so then we'll perform the inter-VLAN routing. Okay, that's the actual thing. So XC 0 by 0 by 3 is nothing but a 10 gigabit interface in this switching. So let us do one by one. So let us go to the configuration. So first and foremost step, we'll create the VLAN. Set VLANs followed by the VLAN name. Let us make it as red, and the VLAN ID is 10. Okay, and the second VLAN, set VLANs, let us make it as blue. That is nothing but a VLAN name followed by the VLAN ID. VLAN ID I'm making as 20. So once that is done, I'm going to the second step. What I'm going to do, I'm going to map this corresponding layer 3 interface to the VLAN. So let us copy this. Okay, and additionally I have to add this to the map to the L3 interface, because IRB is a layer 3 interface or a virtual interface which is used to route between two different VLAN and which performs the same function like inter-VLAN routing what we'll do it in Cisco, right? So L3 interface followed by IRB .10. Same way we have to do it for the second VLAN. So the L3 interface IRB.20. So after finishing the second step, we are going to create a map the IP address to this corresponding logical unit. So this is nothing but IRB.10 is a logical unit. So we have to configure in the interface mode and we have to assign an IP address to this logical unit. How we can do that? Set interfaces IRB. Okay. Since IRB.10, I am making it as a unit 10. So unit 10 is nothing but a logical unit under a physical interface. Then I have to do family inet. So the family inet is nothing but for configuring the IP address, you have to perform family inet followed by the address. So what is the address I am going to configure is 192.168.10.1. So this is the gateway for this PC1, and 20.2 is a gateway for this corresponding PC2. Okay. So this is 20.1. Okay, so let us now configure 190.168.10.1/24 for VLAN 10, and second one is 20. VLAN 20 I'm going to do. So there's nothing but IRB unit 20. This IRB unit 20 followed by family inet address 192.168. So the gateway should be 20.1. Okay. So now let us do a commit operation. Yeah, so then a commit is successful. Now let us check the interfaces. So now let us check the VLANs, run show VLANs. So you can see the VLAN name blue and red with the corresponding VLAN tag 10 and 20, right? So now let us check the show VLANs. So we can see the detailed explanation, right? It will show L3 interface followed by the logical unit 10 and 20. So now let us check the interfaces. Run show interfaces, ters IRB.10 and IRB.20. So now I have to, the admin status is showing up, but the link is showing down, because the reason is I have not configured this as an access port. So this I am going to configure as an access port for this corresponding 10.2, and PC2 I'm going to configure 20.2 20, sorry, it is a 20.2, the gateway is 20.1. So for this 10.2 the gateway is 10.1. Okay, so now let us configure this corresponding interface. So let us see, set interfaces xe 0 by 3. Okay, unit 0. So we have to configure this as an Ethernet switching, family Ethernet switching. Since I'm going to configure this as an access port, family I have to configure as a Ethernet switching. So if I'm configuring the IP address, I have to configure family INET. Since I'm going to this configure as an access port, the family will be Ethernet switching followed by interface mode access. So this, since it is an part of a single VLAN, I can make it as an access port. Okay. So then I have to do interface mode access followed by VLAN members. What is the VLAN I'm going to do? So the VLAN is nothing but the red is tagged for VLAN 10. So you can make it as red. And similar way, so I have to configure for this XE 0 by 4. Okay. So go to set interfaces XE 0 by 4. This is nothing but a 10 gigabit interface. Family Ethernet switching. This interface mode is access. Since it is a single port of VLAN, I am configuring this port as an access port. And in a similar way, what are the members VLAN I am going to configure under this access port? VLAN 20, right? So VLAN members, and let us see what is that 20. It is blue, right? So I'm going to configure this as a blue. And now let us commit. If you want, you can do a commit check and you can check for the syntax issue. Yeah, the commit check succeed. So if it is any syntax error, it will show throw the error. Since it succeeds, then now we can do direct commit operation. So now it is successful. Now let us check the interface status. Run show interface status. Let us see IRB. So now you are able to see, right, both the gateways IRB 10 and 20 are successful. And let me ping both the interfaces. Run ping 192.168.10.1. I'm able to ping the gateway for PC1, and PC2 gateway is 20.1. That's the thing we have configured, right? So IRB is nothing but it serves as a gateway for PC1 and PC2. So this IRB is for VLAN 10 and this IRB is for VLAN 20. Okay. So now this configuration is successful. Now let us go to PC1 and PC2. Let us go to PC1. Okay. So PC1 I already configured. So if you want to configure, you can do like this: IP 192.168.10.2/24 followed by gateway 192.168.10.1. Okay. So this is the thing I configure. So now let us ping the gateway. So now I should be successfully ping the gateway. So I'm able to ping the gateway. So this is successful. So now let us go to the second PC, which is in gateway 20.2. Okay, this is a PC IP and the gateway is nothing but an IRB interface IP, which I configured in the VQFS switch, right? So let us ping the gateway now. 192.168.20.1. So I'm able to reach the gateway. So now this access port is working fine. So now let us see whether this IRB performs the inter-VLAN routing between these two different PC. So the scenario is from PC1 I should be in a position to ping PC2, and from PC2 I should be in a position to ping PC1, right? So that's the actual scenario. Let us ping now. So ping 192.168.20.2. That is a PC2 IP address I'm able to ping. Let us ping the gateway also. So the gateway is successful. Now let us go to PC2. I'm able to ping. Let us see 192.168.10.2. I'm able to ping PC1 IP and let us see the gateway. I'm able to reach. So we are able to perform the inter-VLAN routing successfully between both PC1 and PC2. So if you want to still confirmation from this corresponding switch, let us ping both this IP address 10.2 and 20.2. Let us ping. Let us go to the switch. So in this configuration, this is nothing but an edit hierarchy. So this is nothing but it is in a configuration mode. Okay. So now let us do a run ping. Instead of direct ping, you have to do run ping 192.168.10.2. That is the first IP I'm able to ping, and let us ping the second PC2 IP. So our configuration is working fine. So that is the main purpose of IRB. IRB is used to perform the inter-VLAN routing. So this IRB serves as a gateway for both PC1 and PC2. One is in VLAN 10. So the 10.2 the gateway is 10.1, and for the 20.2 the gateway is 20.1. So this is achieved with without the help of router. So they like more or less it's function like a Cisco inter-VLAN routing. So Cisco the same way we will do inter-VLAN routing, right? So the same scenario it works here. Without the help of router, we are able to perform the inter-VLAN routing between PC1 and PC2. I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.